Good morning to all traders on this Wednesday the 12th of August. Thank you for joining me today. So we've seen some incredible moves yesterday in the metals market. Gold and silver dropping quite significantly. Gold dropped $100 and silver retraced $4 in one day, so it's quite a significant move. Silver actually reversed all of the gains made since the end of July. The sell-off, which was made by profit taking and new risk on sentiment, accelerated yesterday afternoon. The turnaround came with a number of factors. The US dollar showed some strength at the end of last week due to the better than expected non-farm payroll results. Given that the US economy will continue to positively respond to additional $1 trillion worth of fiscal stimulus, it is quite likely that the rates on the dollar will see better days to come at the end of 2020. So, however, economists have suggested that this just could be temporary. It would not be surprising to see the metals start languishing, let's say for gold in the low 1,800 range and silver in the $22 range, and then before risk sentiment shifts once more. In addition, oil has been ranging between $40 to $42 for the past few weeks. We had the API report last night. US crude supplies dropped by 4.4 million barrels for the week. We also have the EIA data later today, which is expected to show further inventories falling. So basically there is still apprehension regarding the pandemic. So if we can take a look at I'm going to take a look at gold, silver and oil today. So we're going to take a look at gold first of all. As I just said, gold has taken quite a nosedive in yesterday's trading session and still continues on the morning session today. We can see with the help of the Ichimoku cloud that the price is still far away from the cloud. However, it has dropped below the Tenkan and Kijun lines, indicating quite a significant break downwards. If we put a Fibonacci in from the previous lows, as I said, this is daily, so it's a bit more of a better indication long term. So we can see it's fallen through both Tenkan and Kijun lines. It continues to fall. It's close to hitting this 61.8% zone, which is 1,834. Like I said earlier, it wouldn't be a surprise for it to fall into the lower regions of the 1,800 area and then bounce back up. So what I'll be looking for today specifically, let me just put some factors in. So if it does break this particular line, we could see it fall even further. If it does hit the cloud, then this is an indication that it could remain in the cloud for a bit of time before bouncing back up again, with the momentum indicator supporting this theory as well. So this is what I'll be looking out for today if it drops any further. If we go to the hourly chart just to get a little bit of a intraday perspective. So we've fallen way below the cloud, way below both lines, and we are going on the Fibonacci on the daily here, what I've just been put in. So it kind of signifies the same resemblance as the daily chart at the moment. So again, I'll be looking for this line here. If it does fall through this line, we could be seeing more levels of testing throughout the day. So it'll be very, very interesting if it gets down for me at the 1,840 range. If it drops again to the low 1,800, I'll be seeing where I can put in a buy position to see if it's going to bounce back up again. So I'm now on the daily silver chart. So as you can see, there's a similar pattern emerging as we saw with the gold. If we put in again a Fibo, just for now, we can see it's broken through these lines. It's just kind of, the Kijun line is just hanging on to the lower candle there, and as we go into the trading session we could see more weakness as we go down. So again, like the gold, I'll be looking at this line for testing, and again the 50% to see if it's going to bounce back up again and find some support. If it does, I fully expect it to break back up. This may not happen within the intraday time period. However, if it does hit the 61.8% Fibonacci range on the daily chart, we could see it bounce back up. If it does happen to get into this region here of the cloud, it could find a good support and then start pushing even further up. But as we get more and more news throughout the trading day, especially as America opens later, we'll be able to see more clues into how it's going to perform for the rest of the day. So I'll just take you on to the US oil chart really quickly. We're on the daily chart at the moment, and we can see that the prices are just precariously hovering above the cloud. As I mentioned earlier, it's been in a range for the last couple of weeks, not really been affected by the pandemic infection rate or the stimulus talks that have been going on in America. So we can see at the moment we're looking for a bit of a break up or a breakdown. If the Tenkan and their Kejun lines, I'll just zoom in a little bit, if these lines can be broken on the downside, then we expect a bit of a fall, because there is quite a big convergence line here, as you can see on the daily. So we're just expecting it to range in the cloud if it does fall down. So we're looking probably about the mid $35 range in the next few days towards the end of the week. Okay, I've just pulled the 1 hour chart up for you. So again, we see this convergence line. It's trading in between both Kijun and Tenkan lines. The important thing is, because the Tenkan line is below the Kijun line, we're expecting that it could go lower. It's in the cloud as well, so we are expecting a bit of a dip in the next depending on the results for the EIA later on today, we could expect a bit of a dip on the downside, but further clues will be given as the day progresses. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them on the post, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Until then, have a great trading day ahead. Goodbye for now.